Yo, what's happening, people? And welcome back to the Tiki Taka podcast, where you're going to hear hot takes, unbiased opinions, and hopefully have a couple laughs along the way.
Yes.
And apologies, we didn't have an episode last week. A lot going on
Fixture
from
congestion.
work, Christmas parties to birthdays to midweek football. We tried to fit one in,
Yeah.
but things came up, and
It's
then
difficult.
there was too much stuff going on, and obviously the midweek fixtures as well made it difficult. I was at Arsenal on Wednesday, but we will have a double upload at some point before the new year to make up for it.
Go feed the streets.
So we still maintain that one a week kind of thing. So look out for that. We're going to be doing a top 10 summer signings, which we did last year. Guys enjoyed that last year, so look out for that. But a lot has happened in terms of football in these last week and a half.
Yeah, man.
The last episode we released, Tottenham had just battered Man City 4-0. And we'll get on to Tottenham.
Yeah,
But
don't worry.
this week, I know there were some good games, some blockbuster games, but this week we're going to start with Arsenal because I feel like we need to have a serious
discussion
about Arsenal. And we obviously went to Craven Cottage after beating Man United, patterned Man United midweek from 2 set pieces, showed Amorim the levels, which is always good to do. And then we went to Fulham, and I said to you before at the start of this week that Man United was almost a gimme.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to get 3 points against Man United because we're better than Man United, right? The players are average at best. Amorim looks a bit average, right, at best. And I said to you, Fulham's the test. That's the real test.
100%.
Right? I know what Marco Silva's on. I know what it's like going away there. I know they're a good team. I know their system. So going into this game after the Man United game, after Liverpool had dropped points as well, the gap has just gone to 7. Liverpool's game obviously got called off on the weekend. Arsenal needed to win this game, not to, like, in the grand scheme of things, obviously Arsenal can't really be dropping more points on whatever, but they just needed to win this game to show that, like, look, Liverpool haven't played, the gap's now gone to 4 points.
Yeah. The quote-unquote blip is over.
Yeah, exactly. We won 3 on the bounce. This will make it 4, and then we go to Everton at home, and things start ticking over. And it's not necessarily to say that a draw at Fulham's a bad result, right? But I look at some of our fixtures this year, and we've said this, like, after all of these fixtures almost, that, like, at the start of the season we did well. We had Villa away, Tottenham away, and City away, and we had 7 out of 9 points.
Yeah.
And those are 3 tough tests.
Yeah.
We did well. But after that, we've had Bournemouth away, which have obviously proved to be a tough test. Beating Man City, they're beating Tottenham, Newcastle away, Chelsea away, and Fulham away. Those are 4 tough tests, 4 tough games, but we haven't been able to win one of them.
Yeah.
And that's a big problem, I feel like. Like, we go into those games and you think, yeah, this is going to be a tough game, maybe, especially Newcastle and Chelsea, maybe get out with a point. But we needed to be able to win one of those games for me to really feel like, yo, we can close this gap, we can win this league.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. I think I was saying on the pod after the Chelsea game that at the time I was like, I'm not going to get too onto the team, but obviously we knew that it was going to be tight margins, fine margins. But I was saying that one of those games, who did we have right before Chelsea?
It was Inter, and then it was Newcastle.
Newcastle, yeah. I was saying between Newcastle and Chelsea that we should have had a draw at Newcastle and a win at Chelsea. Yeah. And I was a bit annoyed at the time when I was like, a real title winning team would have made the Newcastle 1-1, taking that one chance at the end. We played poorly. We deserved nothing we still deserve to lose at Newcastle. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that we deserve to come away with a point. We still deserve to lose in Newcastle, but
that's what champions do.
A title winning team would have just come away with a point, got away with one, moved on. Same thing with Chelsea. Chelsea, I thought we deserved to win that game. I thought we were better than Chelsea in that game. Chelsea were better than we expected, but Chelsea are a good team.
Yeah.
But I still think that we had the chances, we had the ability, we had the momentum, at the end as well and stuff to win that game. And then, as you say, from there, it was sort of like we didn't really have any more excuses. We didn't really have any more leeway.
Yeah.
We just had to churn out wins. We had to
win 7 on the bounce.
I was saying it before the international or after international, whatever it is. Win, and win. And obviously, it started off all right. We weren't just winning; we were scoring goals. Odegaard was back; it was looking lively.
Man United for me was, and I came on this pod after Leicester. And I came after Liverpool beat Southampton, and I said, but more importantly, after we beat Leicester, and I said, that's not a performance of champions.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the guys are saying champions, this is what they do, and they win late, and no, it's Leicester at home.
Yeah.
It's a relegation team that's just come up. This is just 3 points, and we move it on. But the Man United one,
Look like that.
I was like, that's a performance of champions, because that's a big team. We're not playing well, especially in that first half. I thought we were terrible. Man United looked to be solid
Come and get the job done.
up, and you score from 2 set pieces. You keep a clean sheet. You come out 2-0 winners. That's the performance of champions. So I thought that, but I know I'm almost like no guaranteed what I get from Arsenal at home.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, most of the time it's going to be 3 points, unless there's a mad thing that happens. Like the only 2 games we dropped points in at home, Brighton was the red card, and Liverpool we had a backline of Lewis, Skelly, Kyrgios, White, and Partey.
Yeah, and it was a Salah goal.
Yeah,
it was just one of those ones. Could happen to.
Those are the only 2 draws. So I know what we get at home. My biggest gripe with Arsenal, and I'll say this now, I've said this before, but I feel like Arteta was let down in the summer, because all summer long, we had conversations off air, literally every week, all summer, that this guy that we signed, the forward player we signed, just has to
needs to be a goal getter.
He just has to score goals. He doesn't have to link up play. He doesn't even have to beat his man 1v1. He doesn't have to be an assist guy. He just has to score goals, because that's the one thing that we were potentially missing. Our forward signing was Raheem Sterling. That hasn't worked out to this point, right? So we're at the point now where I don't think this Arsenal team can win the league unless they sign a forward player in January.
I agree with that 100%, but just to like walk it back, I feel this is by far and away the most frustrating thing about this Arsenal team is like, and I'm happy with the, like, I can take on the set piece narrative. It doesn't really get to me still. The amount of goals that we score from set pieces, I'm happy to score goals. But the inability, and I agree with you that Arteta was let down in the summer. We should have gone out and got another 10 to 12, 13, 14, 20 goal a season. It should have really have been 20 goal a season, yeah. But anybody else as well that could have just gotten us 10, 12, 30, anything, any additional. We waited until the last day to get Sterling, and now it's like we're in the middle of December and there is no Sterling minutes. Yeah. There's no, it can't be, there's no Sterling. Sterling isn't going to get 10 goals. He's going to get 8 goals.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, I'm not really to say Sterling's a failure or a flop or whatever, but whatever we were hoping for in terms of like, high ceiling or like your best ever outcome for Sterling, temper that one. It's going to have to be 5 goals if we're lucky.
I agree with you. I'm not calling him a flop or a failure yet, because I still believe that there's a certain period of the season, for a month or a month and a half, that Sterling might give us something. But up until this point, it hasn't worked.
It hasn't worked for whatever reason.
Because we even said, or you said on Sunday, like, we're bringing Martinelli on for Trossard. We're still not. Arteta still doesn't want to bring on Sterling for a different option, or for whatever reason.
It's and I agree on that sense of like Arteta's been let down. But man, and like it's just frustrating that the supporting cast, can't rise, can't like shut one of us up as a fan or as critics or as anybody else. Like,
and to explain that, Bukayo Saka's supporting cast.
Exactly. Yeah. Bukayo Saka's. I'd even say, obviously, Saka gets our goals and assists. I'd even say Odegaard to a certain extent, like, he should get more goals. He should have more shots on target. But when he comes, we see what he brings. Yeah.
And I still think Odegaard's working his way up to full match fitness.
100%. And even to your point about Kai Havertz, I'm not unhappy. I think Kai's been all right this season. He's not been like scintillating or anything like that, but he's got what I would have expected from Kai: a goal or assist pretty much every other game.
Kai Havertz currently on, and I was going to say this anyway, he's currently on 5 Premier League goals in 15 games.
And 2 assists.
Right? Yeah. But just looking at the goals, that's 1 in 3, right? Last year, Kai Havertz scored 13 league goals, which across the season is about 1 in 3.
Yeah. Right? As to be expected.
So if Kai Havertz gets to 13 again, that was cool for us last year, right? Especially because of the way he scored goals in the run-in. That's probably cool for us again
this year.
But there's like the deficiencies in Havertz's game are glaringly obvious.
Yeah.
Because our left wing. And maybe that's the same way. Maybe the deficiencies in our left wing game is glaringly obvious. Yeah. Havertz isn't scoring goals and whatever, but our left wing is tragic, right? Havertz gives us something, right? And he didn't have his best game on the weekend. So Havertz is on course to get what he got last year.
And it's not just, as you say, it's like our left wing is just the issue. If Havertz is not having a good game, a striker who scores 1 in 3, calm. for a club the level and size of Arsenal, the ambitions of Arsenal should be able to have an adequate replacement,
100%,
or like someone to come
100%.
on and equally be a threat.
Yeah.
Havertz can't be a threat every week. There might be certain games where the defender's got the best of him, whatever, he's not match fit, whatever it is, he's holding on to a niggle, whatever. Yeah, that can happen. That'll happen for any City. That'll happen to anybody,
Yeah.
But if Arsenal are meant to be going for league titles, if Arsenal are meant to be going for, Champions Leagues and all this kind of stuff, the guy that we're bringing on for Havertz needs to equally be a threat or more of whatever it is. We need to get some sort of production out of him.
I think Liverpool are the perfect example for that.
Jota's been out for how long now?
Right.
Jota's been out
a long time.
And it's like Gakpo comes in, Nunes comes in, whatever you think of those guys, they still chip in one or two.
At least.
One or two. So I think the biggest problem, the most frustrating thing about Arsenal is like, if it isn't Bukayo Saka, or if it isn't Odegaard creating for Saka, or whatever it's going to be, it's just not going to happen. Yeah. It just doesn't look like it's going to happen. It doesn't look like that Martinelli cameo on Sunday was so frustrating. I watched Martinelli come on in the 60th minute, and just proceed to not beat his man for 35 minutes. And it's Harry Wilson and Nathan, Kenny Tete. I keep calling him Nathan. Kenny Tete. It's like, bro, these are good players. Yeah, don't get me wrong. But Martinelli, you can beat them. Like, or if you want to be playing for Arsenal as a starting left winger, you have to be, and not just once or twice, consistently beat them. I'm seeing wingers for other teams like consistently go around their man and not have the end product. I'm seeing Martinelli do the opposite, never go around his man. And then one time he does cut back,
never have the end product.
He never really does have the end product, but
like, how many times does Martinelli get to the byline because he's beating his man? And
it's a great cross.
Picked a man up.
Yeah. It's one of the other.
The Man United game was evident of that. It's just guys are clocking on Martinelli. He's there to win corners.
Yeah, it's one or the other.
And it's criminal of Martinelli to be offside in that position. You're looking across the whole line. You're a winger. That's your one role. It's the 88th minute, and it's annoying because after that, everything Martinelli does is flawless.
I think Arteta must be
the ball in,
like deep down furious with the Martinelli saga of it all, because obviously Arteta, for better or for worse, puts a lot of faith in Martinelli. He's probably like, I need a left winger. I know I need another left winger, but for now, I have Martinelli. Martinelli trains hard, and there is a base level of work rate and stuff that we'll get from him. We always speak about that base level. Yeah,
it's important to say
exactly
that if we were going for top four, we wouldn't be having any of these conversations about Trossard's good enough for that. Havertz is more than good enough for that.
Yeah, Martinelli's good enough for that.
Good enough for that. Well, we'll get to the last guy. I'm not going to mention his name, but even for top four. But the problem is we're going for a title.
Yeah.
Right. And that margin from from Europa League to Champions League, the gap's maybe not that big. But when you want to go from top four to winning the league, it's a big jump.
But I think Martinelli is even more frustrating because remember when I sent you the pre-match inside training before the Man United game, and I was like, this is Martinelli comp. In training, Martinelli has the just first time this into the corner, or just first time this across goal. Yeah. But when it comes to an actual real life match scenario, the Maguire situation, you're 1-on-1 with Maguire midweek, and you're not going round him, you're not beating it. It's Maguire in a channel. Go round him. I've just seen you in inside training skip around Kivior and these guys a million times over. So
and
I know
you just kicked it at Maguire.
Arteta must be furious. He's like, bro, I train you all week to put you in these positions and tell you what to do. Yeah. And then the match day comes, the real life scenario comes, and he does this like, I'm just gonna delay. I'm gonna drag the ball back a little, a couple of times. Yeah. I don't know. I agree with your overall point. I think the way things are presently constructed, a draw in the grand scheme of things isn't the end of the world. But for me, it's so damning on a team who wants to go and win the title that we can't go and beat Fulham away, especially with a chance to cut the lead down to 4 points.
Agreed.
And now we're in a situation where Arsenal can't win the league from my perspective just because they're relying too much on other teams to bail them out.
Yeah.
We need other teams to beat Liverpool. We need other teams to beat Chelsea. And then we need us to do the thing. Whereas if it was just going to be us who was going to do the thing and win the games and consistently churn out performances, I'd be like, all right, we'll just have to see what happens with everybody else. Yeah. But I feel like the way things are right now, as of today, it's like we're asking a lot of teams for favors. And then also, I don't even know if we can back our chat if they do bring us the favors.
I agree. I agree. 100. Like, I don't think Arsenal can win the league. We'll say that here now, and this will be a pivotal moment in the podcast.
Yeah. Let us be wrong, Arsenal.
We'll remember after we played Fulham and the pod after Fulham, and we both said that we can't win the league. But we are both caveating this with if we don't sign someone. If we sign someone in January, we'll come back and we'll revisit this, right? Depending on who it is.
And the reason I say that as well is because obviously we're going to come on to these teams. But like, as I sit here today, 10th of December, I'm like, is it really going to be an onslaught Enzo Maresca title race? Really?
Well, look, we'll get on to Chelsea in particular. Obviously, Liverpool didn't play this weekend, but we'll get on to Chelsea. But the reason, if you look at the table, just at the table, Liverpool win their game in hand, the gap's 9 points. So that's what it was before Wednesday, right? So just looking at the table, it's not over.
Yeah.
Now, if you just look at the table, but the problem is that Arsenal's next 3 away games are Palace, Brentford, and Brighton.
Yeah, which are not easy, and we've been saying.
Right, and I don't think we'll win all 3. Right, and if we want to go and win the league, we probably need to go and win all 3 because we can't keep drawing games.
It's a chicken and the egg situation in the sense of the reason I don't think we can win all 3 is because somebody else will need to step up to win all 3.
Other than
Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka can be an 8, 9 out of 10 in all 3 of those games. Yeah.
I mean, look at the way he was defended. Have you seen some of the clips?
Yeah. I told you about Anthony Robertson.
Bassey.
There's no breaks. There's no breaks in Anthony Robertson.
Everyone wants to come and say after they play Bukayo Saka.
Locked up, kept him quiet. Yeah.
Bassey.
Yeah.
Zanderberg.
I told you how disciplined the Wobby was.
Lukic.
I've never seen a Wobby that disciplined.
Come on, man.
So, if City were to win those 3 games, if Liverpool were to win those 3 games, it would be because, yes, Salah has got 1 or 2 in either one of those games or whatever it is, but somebody else, a random Curtis Joe, whoever, Slobber's like, well, it won't be Curtis Joe, but whoever it will be,
Nunes,
whoever, Connor Bradley will come in and have his 1 of the season, whoever else it will be, will come and get theirs and bail the team out or help the team out. And Gakpo will move from 5 goals to 6 goals, 6 goals to 7 goals, whatever it is. Arsenal, we're still asking like Jesus to get off the mark. We're still asking Sterling to get off the mark. We're still asking all of these guys to score their first Premier League goal, let alone their 4th, 5th, or 6th, let alone their 7th or the 8th that we'll need them to do to win a title. So for that simple fact of like, all of those games, I still think Arsenal are the better team. Arsenal should win those games if we're going to win. We have to win those games, type of thing. But
we'll have to probably score at least for Brentford and Brighton. We'll have to score at least more than 1 goal.
Brentford, we might need 5.
Exactly
to win at the G-Tech. The way they're scoring, the way Brentford are scoring at the G-Tech.
But I know. I'll comfortably sit here and say we have the best defense in the league, right? I'll comfortably sit here and say that.
I will comfortably say that when players are fit.
Yeah, agreed.
You know, because like, and this is another thing about Arsenal.
But that's the same for the other teams, right? If you're going to take out Arsenal's best centre back,
no, but I'm not even taking out. So I'm always assuming, and this is wrong to do, but I'm always assuming Gabriel Saliba and Raya are fit.
Yeah.
I think our biggest issue, and it's not our defense is not our biggest issue. We're still a very good, if not the best defensive team in the league. But we saw it a little bit in Fulham, is when we don't have Calafiori or we don't have, you know, Zinchenko or whoever you want to say. And now Tomiyasu's still out, and we've got to shuffle pieces around and put Partey at right back and put Timber at left back. And these guys can still be 7, 8 out of 10s in these roles. Partey and Timber weren't terrible, versus Fulham. And they don't leak goals. Once Fulham had that 1 goal that they scored,
what did Fulham create?
They didn't really look like scoring again. But I just think that, and maybe it's not to say that we don't have the best defense in the league, but I'm just making the point of I'm getting slightly annoyed.
Yeah, with the injuries. See how many are not training today.
Yeah, I'm getting slightly annoyed with the fact that we constantly have to have a makeshift back 4. Yeah. And not just have it's calm like one. We have so many left backs and right backs and all this kind of stuff, but we can't have all of them out at the same time.
Yeah, I know.
What's happening?
But look, regardless, I'll comfortably sit here and say we got the best defense in the league.
Yeah, and I'm not going to disagree with that.
But we don't score enough goals, and that's the biggest problem, right? Like Brighton and Brentford away, we're gonna have to score more than 1 most likely, and that's gonna be. I don't know if we've got that.
And to add to the frustration is, we knew that 2 seasons ago, we knew we didn't score enough goals.
And that's why I said Arteta's been let down. But you mentioned the player there, Gabriel Jesus. Yeah, and you're talking about we need these guys to get off the mark, right? Waneri's got a Premier League goal this season.
Yeah.
To show, and Waneri's barely, as he had a start. No. He hasn't had a Premier League start, right? we're talking about Gakpo and Nunes getting 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Gabriel Jesus, and this is combined with the Kai Havertz thing of like, okay, cool, Kai Havertz, maybe he's not having his best game today. Let's bring someone on. That's
He's
Gabriel
nothing.
Jesus.
He's a non-threat. He's a non-starter. Well, like I was holding back, and obviously I wanted Jesus. I put my cards on the table a couple of years ago, before Jesus even joined Arsenal. I remember I said to you in the Emirates, I was like, "Yo, we should go out and get Jesus."
Yeah.
The City, obviously, they're gonna get Haaland. There was kind of no news. Pep wasn't gonna have much use for him. He came in and he was brilliant for the first couple of months. Injuries have set him back, all of this kind of stuff, and that happens. Yeah, and it's frustrating and it's annoying, and players can still not live up to their potential or what you expect of them because of injuries. But that does not excuse what we're getting from Gabriel Jesus. Like, Gabriel Jesus can still have gone through all the injuries that he's been through and not be the same player, and I can accept that Gabriel Jesus. Yeah, exactly.
Look what Raul Jimenez has been through.
I can accept that Raul Jimenez from Wolves, cold-blooded killer.
Yeah.
Raul Jimenez from Wolves.
Well, post the skull fracture and
and everything like that, and we're never gonna get that Raul Jimenez again. But Raul Jimenez he's still got 5 goals.
5 league goals he's got.
He's got 5 goals, Raul Jimenez. So it's like, there is no excuse for me for Jesus, and I know what the issue is with Jesus.
Look, the way, well, both of us, but you mainly talk about Højlund.
Yeah, he's going to outscore Jesus.
I mean, didn't Xerxes get 2 against Everton?
Yeah, he's on 3.
So Xerxes on 3 Premier League goals.
I don't know if Jesus will get to 3. So I
can't talk about it.
My issue with Jesus is, bro, you have to offer us something. Havertz is off. We need a goal. And Arteta, I'll always say this to you, man. Arteta gives you more than enough chances. You've seen Jesus start in games we didn't think he was going to start.
Arteta's come out and backed him about reports that Jesus might go to Brazil in January. No chance.
Jesus will start Monaco.
Yeah. He could start Everton next week.
He could. Arteta will give him yet another. Please, bro, go out there and get me something.
Yeah.
And the issue is, Ethan will come back with a goal.
Yeah.
The issue is, we'll have another, obviously,
that's why it's important to separate Trossard and Martinelli from Jesus.
Yeah. Well, we could be unhappy with Trossard and Martinelli.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Trossard and Martinelli, Trossard will get 8, 9, and 4.
Yeah. I mean, last year Trossard got 10. If Trossard gets 8 and 9, this is a good return.
Yeah, I think he'll get. I think Martinelli will get 8 and 5 in the league.
Yeah, decent.
But
we don't really want 2 left. Both our left wingers getting.
That's why agreed. But that's to your point of, like, if we're going for top 4, calm.
Yeah,
2 left wingers with 8 and 4. That's
Tottenham would kill for that. They would kill for that, bro.
Yeah.
But Tottenham don't need Jesus. I said to you a couple of weeks ago, who's going to get more league goals, Werner or Jesus?
Yeah, it's looking scary now. And that's the big issue with Jesus, man. That's the big issue with Arsenal in general. That's what we're saying is why we don't think Arsenal can win the league, is because if Havertz comes off in the 60th minute, it can't just be that, all right, well, the person we're bringing on is never, ever going to score. And not even look like a threat, pose a threat, need a man to, like, at least be the thing of, like, you're going to draw a centre-back and create space for somebody else on the back post because you potentially could be a threat. We don't even get that from Jesus. Guys will leave Jesus unmarked. Guys will leave Jesus. His first touch isn't going to be good enough. Jesus will accept Jesus can have the ball.
I saw the clip of the Rice ball over the top.
Bro, it's beyond reprimand at this point. And to your point, man, about the January transfer window, if Arsenal are to do anything, and I would say, and I know we've spoken about winning cups this season. Yeah, even I think to win a cup, like, we're gonna need someone in Jan, and not someone.
No, I think the team's good enough to win a cup.
I think the team's good enough to win a cup, but I think it's always going to come down. Cups are always going to come down to who takes that chance.
Yeah, but we could win a cup game 1-0, 2-1.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Like, that's a one-off game, right? The reason I'm saying about these next 3 away games is we can't consistently win games in the league 1-0.
Set piece.
We need to score goals.
I get hesitant in the sense of, like...
And that almost gives Arteta a get-out-of-jail free if we start saying that he needs a guy to win a trophy just to win a Carabao.
It does. And this was going to be my point about Arteta is, like...
Like, we knew last year our team was good enough to probably win a trophy.
It was.
It's better than Ten Hag's Man United, right?
That last year team might be the best team we've seen for 20-something years.
So, and it's meant to have just got better, so...
I agree with your point. I'm not saying that Arsenal aren't good enough to win a cup, but I wouldn't be surprised, man. I would not be surprised if the story of why we got knocked out at the semi-final or final stage was because X team just took that chance.
Yeah.
They had less of an XG than we did. They have less of a whatever than we did. But
Bro, if we get knocked out, it's gonna be like that.
yeah, they're whoever
It won't
was.
be any other way.
Their unlikely hero, the guy that they've just brought on, who's played 5 minutes all season, has come on and he's just taken a chance.
Eddie.
Yeah, don't get me started. I'm worried. I'm very worried. I'm very worried. But my thing about Arsenal and Arteta and the January transfer window is we don't just need a body. We don't just need a Sterling like we did at the end of the summer, where it was like, oh, you know, we were making bones about Sterling coming in and how Chelsea are still paying most of the money. It's good business, all this kind of stuff. At the end of the day, if you don't get real production value from this guy, and I'm not talking about Sterling, I'm talking about whoever Arsenal need to sign in Jan, it's long for us. I think it could be very, very long for us. And as I say, maybe this is a bit of like over pessimism. Yeah.
Well, I won't get long in terms of like not making top 4.
No.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe it's a bit of like over pessimism in the sense of like, I still fully expect, even if we don't sign anybody, to be in a race.
I agree.
For the
even
title.
At this point now, I expect us to be in a title.
Yeah,
race,
exactly.
I just don't think we have enough to win it.
And we definitely don't have enough X factor quality, a goal from nothing, something from nothing, because we only have 1 or 2 people that can create something from nothing. Yeah. We need at least 3. We need at least 4 people that can create something from nothing to get us that goal. And fair play to Fulham. And I also wanted to say,
I was going to say we should get onto Fulham.
Fulham,
played as expected.
I don't hate Fulham at all. Yeah. But
I hate that fixture.
Exactly.
Arsenal
exactly.
Fulham.
It's not like other teams when other teams score against Arsenal and I'm like, there's certain teams just boils my blood seeing them celebrate at the corner flag and seeing their fans happy. I don't really have that like animosity towards Fulham. But as soon as Jimenez scored, I was like, oh, I hate everything about what's gonna happen for the next 90 minutes. I hate everything about this, man.
And you know what's funny? I remember when we came on the pod after Brentford Fulham and Thomas Frank and Jan out screamer, and then Thomas Frank just nastiest low block and just defend. And Marco Silva comes back, Harry Wilson brace, they win the game. Marco Silva did that on Sunday. Nasty.
That Calvin
Iwobi left wing back.
Yeah.
We're gonna defend in a 5, and there's no spaces. And the Craven Cottage pitch, when you watch it, I've never actually been there, but when you watch it from home, it looks so small.
Yeah.
Like
there's not enough space. Yeah, there's not enough space anywhere.
There's 3 players around him as the ball's traveling to him,
and we still missed chances to win the game. Like Partey header and all the stuff that we were creating from set pieces. Saka had a goal, as you say, marginally disallowed. I do think the margins have gone against us this season, but it's no excuse because we knew coming into the season, it's all reliant on the margins. We knew that. When you lose the title by 2 points and you have the most wins and the most goals and the most clean sheets that you ever scored and all this kind of stuff, bro, you can only marginally get better.
And a lot of those margins are self-inflicted.
You can only marginally get better than that. So I do want to give Fulham a lot of credit because when I saw that they were 6th, I swear before the last international break, Fulham were like 10th.
Yeah, they could have been,
You know, like they were like between 12 and they didn't have a poor start to the season by any stretch. But like they were between 12th and 10th. And it just means that they've gone on that run of like win. So it'll be interesting. But this will not be Sander Berger?
I want to give him a shout
out. He's already my MVP of the week. That challenge alone on Odegaard.
We said we're going to do our top 10 summer signings before the new
year. Yeah. Watch this space. This won't be the last time that you will hear us give Marco Silva and Fulham credit on this pod before the end of the season. But seriously, man, that is a good outfit.
And see Tottenham apparently sniffing around Marco Silva.
Is it?
Potentially. See what's going on there. I really hope he doesn't go to Tottenham.
I hope that as well, but I thought that about Jose and I thought that about...
No, but just Marco Silva will go to Tottenham. He'll do all right for a year and then he'll fail because that's just what happens at Tottenham. But I just like Marco Silva.
Yeah, you don't want to see him going through that.
You know what you're saying about Thomas
Frank?
Yeah,
I don't want to see Thomas Frank. Yeah. Go Germany, bro. Go.
But Thomas Frank goes to Tottenham, 1 good year and then they'll fail.
Even Thomas Frank United. Don't go United, bro. I know Amorim just come in. Bro, Dortmund or Freiburg or Leverkusen or those are your teams. Are we kidding me? I'll be there for you.
Because to be fair, at United, if Marco Silva or Thomas Frank was to go to United, they could actually be kind of successful.
Shout out Fulham. Shout out. I'll give
Yeah.
Calvin Bassey. I thought Calvin Bassey played well. Like, I
Yeah.
can't say well, but I never thought he was that sort of vocal CB, hold the line here, this is where you guys need to be, But he was doing all of that.
He still got Bozo gene, but
Yeah,
he
exactly.
played well.
Exactly.
But look, we'll move it on to the blockbuster game of the weekend, the London derby. Two teams that hate each other. Chelsea players were trying to take corners and they were getting things thrown at them.
Yeah, that was a bit nuts. I'm surprised even the commentators, they let that slide. They were like, "Oh, normally you get this is deplorable, this is no good," and guys were like, "Oh, this shouldn't happen."
It's Tottenham Chelsea, man. That game's heated. But
it's one of the funniest games.
Life, death, taxes.
3 points at Tottenham for Chelsea
beating.
Yeah,
Tottenham. I said this last year.
Yeah.
Go back a year on the pod last year when Tottenham were undefeated and they were the best team in the league and Andrew was going to do better than the Invincibles and James Maddison was the best player in the league and they got to play Chelsea, who are shocking. They should run all over them.
Yeah.
And Chelsea go and win 4-1.
Bro,
Chelsea beat Tottenham, man. That's just what happens.
I agree with your point, and Chelsea do beat Tottenham, and Frank Lampard's come out and said, "Come on, lads."
Remember Frank beat Jose?
Yeah.
Frank went there, Willian Brace, 2-0. I think in the last 7 games at Tottenham's new stadium, Chelsea have 6 wins.
Wow. I think I was gonna say, so the thing is about this fixture is like I agreed with you up until like all of this. Frank Lampard was coming out and saying, guys, it's only Tottenham and we know what we need to do and all this kind of stuff, and that's why you say death taxes and Chelsea 3 points at Tottenham. But when Tottenham were 2-0 up and like in the 10th minute and Udogie had that chance in the 12th minute, I was like, there's no way Chelsea can get 3 points here today. There's no way.
Even at 2-1, Solanke had a chance.
I was fully thinking that like I was maybe more so leaning into the narrative. Ange turns up for the big games, and I can't even say gets his tactics spot on, but the football that Ange plays in the big games does cause problems for teams. Cucurella had slipped twice, bro. If Cucurella slips twice like that and you directly score 2 goals, you can't lose that game. You don't get given those. You can't lose that game. So for it to still end up not just being, and I know it ended 4-3, but it was a convincing Chelsea win. Like Chelsea were by far the better team,
especially second half.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think that is so damning for Ange, and it comes back as well to stuff that you were saying a year ago, stuff that I was saying a year ago. The details, Ange, the details. It comes down to the details when you're 2-0 up. What you tell the boys, who you tell what sort of system you play. Even when you come back out, what was it, 2-1 at halftime? Even when you come back out at 2-1 at halftime and you're up at home and Chelsea have got one back and you don't want to let them get into it type of thing, set up your team, tell your team what they need to do. For Tottenham to just like,
I agree with you on that point, yeah. And we've said this the whole time and we'll never not say this about Ange and the details, yeah. But I've also said before that the Tottenham players, yeah, they go out there and they definitely do things that Ange has not told them to do.
Yeah.
Right? Especially from corners, right? We said after we beat them, Ange has not told Romero, give Gabriel all the time and space he needs to put this in the back of the net. He hasn't told him to do that.
He's not told Basuma to just...
He's not told Basuma.
Crash out.
So what is that from
Clark
Basuma?
This guy.
Brain dead. Come sliding across. Caicedo's left his leg in. What's Caicedo going to do from the left-hand side of the box? What threat is Caicedo?
That was one of the funniest things because Caicedo was celebrating in the air. Before Caicedo's hit the ground to the roly-poly, he's already cheering.
Stonewall. It's not gonna,
that's the definition of Stonewall.
Yeah.
And I agree to your point that Ange isn't telling these guys.
But Pape Sarr tried to bring the definition up here.
Again, I just think that
but I agree with you. 2-0 up at home.
You can't
lose 4-3.
I was saying when you're 2-0 up at home, if you're a good side, a big side, whatever, even if you're Brentford, yeah, I don't think that you can just be losing to anybody. Yeah. If you're 2-0 up at home and a prime Man City claws it back, the game should end 3-2.
Liverpool even.
Yeah, exactly. A prime Liverpool claws it back, the game should end 3-2.
Yeah.
And the third one should come in the 90th. Yeah. At the end, they've caught it at the death. They got lucky. There's a decision that hasn't gone your way type of thing.
Yeah.
Chelsea they had the 4th goal by the 70-something minute. but like it's just turned on. The game is just completely turned on its head.
Yeah, so easily
in 20 minutes. 30 minutes of football. It's just it's all over now.
Tottenham they completely bottled it. They completely and they're now winless since they won at the Etihad.
And to the point I was saying to you off air, and I will say it if I haven't said it on air, man. For Tottenham, if you're a Tottenham fan, I think the most gut wrenching thing is when you're beating City 4-0, when you're beating United 3-4-0, when you're beating Villa 4-1. Yeah, and these are good teams. These are teams that apart from United, I would have had in my top 4 at the beginning of the season. Man City and Villa and these kind of stuff.
Beat City twice.
Yeah. You can't look in the table and be 10th. You can't look in the table and have
6 wins, 7 losses.
Yeah, exactly. That all of those stats about teams that have lost more than Tottenham.
Yeah.
I think it's
Palace.
Ridiculous, man. And it comes back to my former point about the details, man. Ange clearly knows how to create a free-flowing goal-scoring team. Clearly.
Yeah.
There's one thing I can say about Ange. He creates free-flowing, goal-scoring football. He's made guys like Timo Werner and Brennan Johnson able to get some sort of numbers, some sort of consistency and performance from the wing position. And these aren't guys that I was pulling up trees for.
Yeah.
Yeah. But to not have I don't know, man, a defensive coach with him, a defensive coach, whoever it's going to be, someone to fix that other side of the game, someone to work specifically on player mentality. The only reason Basuma and Pape Sarr make that challenge is mentality.
Yeah.
Heads are gone. The Basuma one is crazy. The Sarr is even crazier.
But also that's just like them as players, right?
It's them as players, but there has to be a level of like week in, week out, we focus on you not losing your head. Yeah, it's a derby. It's a London derby. It's a big game. No, I agree. Even though you're 2-0 up,
Granit Xhaka is a good parallel.
Not everything is going to go your way in a London derby. Even though you're 2-0 up, everything's not going to go your way. What you can't do,
is give away penalties.
And there has to be someone, and there probably is. You're right. It's probably all down to the players, but there has to be more of an emphasis on the coaching staff.
Pape Sarr
saying this in their ear.
Pape Sarr for sure.
You can't do this. Do this in big games. Do that.
You know my thoughts on Basuma.
Yeah.
I think no matter how many times you tell Basuma, I think he makes that challenge anyway. Pape Sarr, I agree with though. He's a younger player and whatever. We found that Basuma's 28.
Yeah, Basuma being 28 to me is crazy. As well as the whole Basuma, like Ange already seems to have an up and down relationship with him. Basuma's late for training, and then Ange has to scold Basuma, and then Basuma's on time for every training session, and then Basuma plays a couple of good games. Ange relaxes.
Basuma's his favourite son.
Ange relaxes the rules for Basuma. Basuma's doing laughing gas before the game. Basuma comes back. Basuma apologizes, but there's this up and down thing going on with Basuma. I agree.
And he has the same thing with Bentancur. Chuckle Brothers there as DM options.
I just think that, man, there has to be a huge there has to be like the other assistant coaches or whoever, he has to be the most defensive minded coach. He needs almost Jose as his second coach to get to make it work, to make
it looks like Ange just doesn't concentrate on defensive shape or defensive work.
Bro, 4 goals at home. You score 3 goals at home and you haven't won the game because you conceded 4 goals at home.
And he conceded 4 at home to Chelsea last year.
Yeah, Bournemouth should have walked away with 4 goals in that game.
Agreed. But on the Chelsea side of things, Chelsea title race, they in it?
Chelsea are in a title race.
Yeah,
I think. I don't know what it is that's holding me back from really believing that Chelsea can win the Premier League, and I know Chelsea.
Levi Cole will. That's what's holding me back.
I was gonna say I know Chelsea definitely have the DNA and the you know what I'm saying,
heritage,
like exactly if there is an upset to be had in a title race, Chelsea can definitely force that upset.
Like I almost feel like it's more likely that Enzo Maresca and Chelsea come and win the league in their first season than Onslaught and Liverpool.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though the Liverpool squad is so much better.
Exactly. It's just something about what Chelsea can do, and they've already found the Frank Lampard, Cole Palmer thing. Chelsea.
Lavia impressed me a lot.
Yeah, Chelsea are a good team, and Maresca deserves a lot of credit because I didn't necessarily think he was going to do better than Pochettino at the beginning of the season.
Same.
Coming from Leicester, and yes, Leicester won the championship, but I was like, bro, this is the big boy league. This is Maresca's first big club, all this kind of stuff. And in many ways, like Slot, Maresca's calm. He said all the right things. He's done all the right things. He's told guys, There's space for you in my squad. He's told other guys, there's no space for you in my squad.
He's been very clear
from day one.
Yeah.
He's told Chilwell, and he's told Sterling, and he's told Mudryk that, all right, Mudryk.
Remember when they were asking, "Oh, you got 46 players," and Maresca was like, "I have a squad of 20. The rest of them, I don't know.
You need to find football elsewhere."
And even in one of his press conferences, he was like, "On the right, we have Noni and Pedro Neto. On the left, we have Sancho and Mudryk. In the 10, we have Cole and João Felix, and up top we have Jackson and Nkunku." But he made it very clear: 2 players in each position. That's my squad.
Even beyond that, just the consistency of performances from players. It feels like Nico Jackson last year would either have a good game or a terrible game. Caicedo would either be all right or shocking.
Yeah. Caicedo has been very good.
Enzo would either be, almost going 0% pass accuracy.
Enzo was only shocking
last year, yeah.
He was only shocking.
And it's not that he's like, oh,
but this is the best form we've seen him in. Right.
And not just that, as you say, consistently, like, all right, I'm gonna be a 5 or a 6, and not a like 3-2 that we were seeing underneath Poch.
Yeah. I'm not sold.
You're not. I'm not saying that Enzo's all of a sudden this kind of guy.
But
we
said we knew Maresca was serious when they went to Anfield,
and he was dropping
him.
And he was dropping him. He's giving him bit part minutes.
Yeah,
in games that.
But he's also been able to find Enzo in this role where now Enzo's picking up goals and assists.
Yeah. Even
he's doing well, and Cucurella, guys are saying, I think Cucurella's had
even Cole. I hate Cole. I think Cole was a joke, but the fact that Poch was having him doing overlaps,
that was crazy from Poch.
Poch was playing him left back.
Cole's not a serious guy.
He's not a serious guy. He's not. But there's a lot of these players who Chelsea have now who are like, all right, this is the most consistently they've performed week in, week out.
Agreed.
For any period of time that I've seen.
You'd have to say, and we use this as the yardstick the whole time. Even when Armand came on this pod last year, I asked him this about Pochettino. Maresca is getting the absolute maximum from that squad and from those players.
And there's less.
And that's all you can ask for.
There's less off the field. I'm not seeing the guys. I know Enzo's had his stuff, but it's not like squabbles. You know how last season, obviously this is a 1-game scenario. You had 3 or 4 guys fighting for a penalty, and Poch just clearly doesn't have that dressing room in order. It seems as if Maresca will not just say it to your face, he'll tell the press.
He's Italian. He's Italian, bro.
I told everybody. I told the dressing room that Cole Palmer takes penalties and all this kind of stuff. Cole Palmer getting 10 goals already this season.
And you see Maresca's some of his interviews. He's very hot on this. We're not in a title race.
Yeah.
And his interview on Sunday, he said Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, they don't slip twice. Michael Carilla slipped. He said that in his Sky interview, right? And it's like we're at a point, where with some of these managers,
some of them can't let Chelsea get off the hook for that. By the way, Carilla slipping twice directly to goals in 10 minutes.
We're at a point with some of these managers, and you said it early on with Arne Slot and some of the interviews Arne Slot was giving, and the way Arne Slot was talking about football, and Maresca's kind of doing the same, and even some of the interviews I've seen from Ruben Amorim, I'm thinking, he speaks very well. Well, I feel like we're at a point where some of these managers come into the Prem now. It seems like the level is very high now.
I think the level of
the way they're speaking tactically.
I was going to say, so I think, and this is like a separate conversation. This is to clubs' points when and we've seen West Ham go the other way when clubs are looking for new managers and fans are like, oh, but why are they interested in all of these young guys, and they've not too much experience at the top level. The opposite, we had the situation with Unai when we were saying we were watching Unai. Unai's a very experienced manager. He deserves his credit for all the stuff that he's done. But post-match presses and stuff, we just could not understand what Unai was saying. Yeah. And the thing with these new managers that we have now, as you say, Maresca, all these kind of guys.
Unai's, he's a lot better now.
Exactly, than he was. Yeah, he couldn't speak English back then. We have this new wave of managers where it's like they need to not only be able to be a technician and all these kind of stuff, but clearly and succinctly play the media.
Yeah.
Clearly and succinctly play the media. Yeah. Talk tactics when it's time to talk tactics.
Yeah. Don't let your words get spun.
Exactly. I think it is a benefit to that because I haven't heard too much of Lopetegui's press conferences, but I feel like West Ham fans are missing that sort of when Lopetegui's coming out, the reassurance of okay, we're doing this now, we're doing that now.
Well, even this wasn't good enough.
We'll get onto the Wolves West Ham game, but even Gary O'Neill, you saw what Gary O'Neill was saying when they lost. when I saw fans were like, "Oh, that's good to hear him say that." And
yeah.
there's a certain thing that you get from young managers to connect with the fans on, like, well, these are just the issues.
Yeah,
Or,
yeah.
you know,
100%. I mean, look at Ten Hag's communication. Wasn't great, right?
Yeah.
Ruben Amorim comes in, and we'll get to that. But
Media.
lastly on this, props to Chelsea. They deserve their props.
They do.
They're playing well. Cole Palmer, obviously 2 goals. We've come on this pod at 4:30 kickoff and showtime, and
He was there today.
it was 2 penalties. But aside from the 2 penalties, he played well.
Yeah,
he had a good game. So fair play. Jadon Sancho scored. I'm not going to say anything more on that. If you want to give him some props, you can give him some props.
I will give Jadon Sancho some props. I also think I give Enzo Maresca more props because he's not coming and giving Enzo. Sorry, he's not coming and giving Sancho. All right, you're starting left winger.
And Sancho's not a good player.
It's like, yo, when you're playing well, I'll play you.
Yeah.
If you're not playing well,
when you're playing well, but when you're playing all right, I'll keep you in there. Right? But,
yeah. But he's given Sancho's got a couple of goals, a couple of assists. He's getting something out of him, some consistent production out of him. And
agreed.
I guess Sancho's working towards something.
And it was a good goal.
Yeah, it was a good goal.
I need my left winger to score that one at least once in the season, please. Right?
Bare minimums.
But yeah, look, I think Chelsea are in the title race. The only reason I don't think Chelsea can win it is because of their goalkeeper and their 2 centre backs.
They do concede a lot.
I think the rest of their team is set up fairly well. They maybe need a real physical presence in midfield, like Nemanja Matic, Declan Rice, that kind of player.
I also do think that in the final 10 to 15 games,
yeah, of course.
Like when people are really keying in on Cole Palmer, and I'm not saying that people aren't doing that now, but when managers are looking to keep their jobs or finish within certain positions in the league, and it's like, all right, well, we're not going to give Cole Palmer a penalty or 2 penalties.
And also, they'll start treating Chelsea differently.
Yeah.
Right? We saw the way teams treated Arsenal differently after the 22-23 season when we just blitzed everyone, and then it came, and now it's low block every week.
That's my point. Is
things will change for sure.
I like Chelsea's auxiliary players. They have a better auxiliary squad other than Cole. When I say auxiliary, but how much is Jackson going to rise? How much is Sancho going to rise? How much? And Neto's been all right this season, but it's not really.
Even Noni as
he's
well.
not really scored or assisted in a run of games. So it's
that's never really been Neto.
If they lock Cole Palmer down in the final 10, 15 games, like I assume they will, and they say, well, this team, if we lock this guy down, there's less of a chance that they beat us. I would need to see how much of the other Chelsea squad actually step up to that plate and be like, all right, well, I'm going to back.
I agree. But even just from right now,
they're
2 centre backs and goalkeeper.
There's not enough.
Tell me that they can't win the league.
Yeah, Sanchez is a clown.
A clown.
Sanchez is a clown.
You guys are crying for Jorgensen. But Jorgensen's been balling in Conference League. That competition that all the big clubs play in Conference League. We'll move it on. Man United versus Nottingham Forest. We spoke a bit about Amorim and his press conferences, and after Man United fans claimed they lost to Stoke in midweek with 2 set pieces, they said that we had a good shape and we can see where we're going, and you only beat us on set pieces, and in the game there wasn't much in it. They go to Nottingham Forest, or Nottingham Forest go to Old Trafford, should I say, and after 60 seconds, what happens? They score from a corner. Amorim, coach, please.
Dunked on. Not even one of them little...
Lissandro.
Yeah.
The butcher.
It's not even one of those little shitty double deflection, Saliba's come off his bomb type thing and dunked on. Guys just out jumped, out fought your centre backs, got to the header. Onana's not moved in the centre of the goal. And as you say, Amorim, coach, when you lose 2-0 on set pieces midweek, surely Thursday, Friday is only training on how to defend set pieces. Surely, yes, you try.
I thought the rest of your play was good.
Exactly. Surely you try and there'll be some ball work, there'll be some offensive combinations, but when you lose, it's not even just the fact that we scored from 2 set pieces. We look like we could have scored from every set piece we took, or should have scored from every set piece we took.
And that's what Flex and that was saying about Forest.
And when guys were saying welcome to the Premier League to Amorim, those are the things that he's got to take on board and not be like Ange and learn the details and be like, all right, well, these clearly seem important over here. This was just such a fun win for Nottingham Forest. After beating Man United last year in December as well. And
why?
Yeah. I think, as you say, it's tough as an Arsenal fan, we're both Arsenal fans, not to hide our bias, to not look at this loss in context with the Arsenal loss. Yeah. All the chat that Man United fans had about losing to Arsenal and what it meant, and we're playing nice, good football, let's give Amorim time and all this kind of stuff. I said this to you on the Ipswich one, and this is a bit of fun. It is a bit of fun. Because Nottingham Forest are a good team.
Yeah.
But
we saw what happened when they came to the Emirates.
But
as much as they're a good team.
If Amorim needs to get to phase 3 to start beating Forest at home or not concede 3 goals to Forest at home.
Nuno didn't even do the 5 at the back.
That's what I'm saying.
He came with a 4.
If you as Man United, and we were looking at the team sheet, they played Licha, Martinez, 50 mil. They played De Ligt, another 40, 45 mil. And they played Euro, 60 mil, or Nana, 50 mil. Yeah. As your like solid back.
Yeah, your base.
Your base back there, yeah. Amorim's got over 100 mil, over 150, close to 200 mil worth of talent there. And he's playing his favorite system, back 5. I'd even probably go as far to say that core, that base back there is better than the base that he had at Sporting Lisbon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So if that at phase 1, and Sporting Lisbon have good players, not to disrespect Sporting Lisbon, because we're here to kill Licha and Martinez and De Ligt and all these kind of guys.
I don't rate Lisandro, really.
But if Amorim could have signed Lisandro from Ajax, would he have to play, maybe not left centre back, it might have been a left back thing. But if Amorim could have signed Ajax for Sporting, he would have jumped at the chance to sign it.
But those Sporting guys are physical guys.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Amorim Sporting.
They are. The point still remains. Amorim's got 200 mil worth of talent there.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, whether all of that talent is actually worth 200 mil or is better than, I think it's still better than what he had at Sporting. I expect a level of competency. The goals that they conceded, the third goal,
the defending is shocking.
The third goal that they've conceded in a back 5. You've got 5 guys back there. Chris Wood, the threats. Chris Wood from headers.
Unfortunately, Euro doesn't know the threat. Welcome to
they say Euro's generation.
Premier League.
They say Euro's generational. Euro. I'm not gonna lie. This season for Euro, I will get onto Euro just as a fan thing, but not really as like my opinion on Euro. Euro's got he's got to learn everything. Yeah. This is almost as if this is Euro's first time playing football. Yeah. Now that he's come to the Premier League and he's facing Chris Wood and guys, he was never getting that in France. Yeah. It's the Martinez and De Ligt of it all. Yeah. With Onana in there. Onana's been playing well for the last. He's been better than he was last season.
Yeah.
And De Ligt is meant to be this ready-made product.
The leader.
There's no excuses. You played at Bayern. You played at Juventus. Yep. You've come now to the Premier League. You captained Ajax in that crazy one that they had. There should be no De Ligt needs to find his feet and De Ligt needs to do this, or we need to have this first foot to unlock De Ligt. It needs to be De Ligt is ready to go right now. That's what we paid 45, 50 mil for. Yep. Same thing with Martinez. This is Martinez's 3rd season in the Prem. Yeah. It's not that he needs to adjust. It's not that Martinez needs to learn the language. It's not that he's here. He's ready to play. I just think that it's not the end of the world. It's still early into Amorim's time, but it's worrying signs if at phase 1 there's certain teams that you can lose to Forest 1-0 away. 1-0 at home in a tough fought lost where a decision didn't go your way. But when Forest are turning up and scoring 3 goals and
at your home,
it's and I know Man United fans on the other end of this are gonna be like, the players are terrible. We need a whole new squad. Man United fans kill me when they speak about needing to buy themselves out again of the current situation that they're in. So you need this £1 billion squad isn't good enough. You need another £1 billion squad, and then you'll be competing.
But that's what Man United have been doing.
It's been 10 years of that. I agree. It's been 10 years of £1 billion squads and money spent. Schweinsteiger, all these guys will come in.
Lukaku.
And I agree. And not to go back on myself, because I've said the worst trait that Ten Hag had, and I will always stand on this, is his squad building. That was his worst trait. There's a lot of guys that aren't worth the money that Ten Hag paid for them.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I said it. I said, what's the next manager going to do with the guys that Ten Hag has left behind? But as Man United fans, I just find it funny when you sign guys a season ago or even this season, Ugarte and kind of guys, and you're saying, they need to go. You've just signed him for 60 mil. What do you mean he needs to go?
In January.
What do you mean he needs to go?
See the rumours today that Rashford
Yeah, I saw that. They're saying they need to free up the wage cap to get more stuff done, and
could potentially happen in January. But no, look, shocking defending for the whole game from Man United. Onana, Howler, absolutely terrible. And from the Forest point of view, the only thing I can really say, Chris Wood, 10 Premier League goals after 15 games.
Nuno, a massive respect. I love when managers get clowned out of a club and go to another club, and they're like, "By the way, guys, I'm a serious manager."
How many points above Tottenham are they?
Tottenham fans will have you believe Nuno.
Yeah, but Nuno was the worst thing that happened to Tottenham. Man.
Tottenham fans will have you believe Nuno is the biggest. Nuno got 10, 11 games at Tottenham, and they were like, he's the biggest scrub in football. Yeah. He's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. That Forest squad.
I don't even know if he got that many games, you know.
No, it was like 11. I swear, okay. It was like 11 before Nuno gone. But I just I love it when a manager who has the mentality and the minerals to be like, by the way, I wasn't the problem at the last club I was at. You know, it could just be an unhappy marriage. It could just be an Emery type of thing. Unhappy marriage didn't really work. But, you know, Tottenham fans will have you believe that Nuno is this one type person. And if Nuno, I was saying this at the start of the season, if Maresca finishes above Ange and Ten Hag, that looks confirmed now.
Yeah.
Nuno? I don't care that Amorim has come in. I don't care that Amorim has come in.
Yeah. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Though. I don't care.
You said earlier before, like you were saying that guys were telling you about Forest and Forest team and whatever.
Forest are gonna come down the table.
Yeah, Forest. I still don't think they'll finish in the top half.
No, I don't. Top 10. I don't. I can still name you 10 teams who I think will finish ahead of Forest this season.
But the funny thing is,
Man United might not be in that 10.
Man United will finish top 10. They'll finish top 10. They'll finish top
10. 10th. They might finish 10th.
But Forest play Tottenham on Boxing Day.
Do they?
At Forest.
And
you know the Boxing Day results always.
Yeah. I swear to God, and I could be making this up. I just feel as if Chris would have scored in the last 3 or 4 Boxing Days in a row. I feel like Chris would have.
I feel like Man United beat them on Boxing Day last year. You know the Gibbs White.
Yeah.
I feel like that was Boxing Day. It was definitely around Christmas time.
It definitely was. It was just before. I remember. Yeah.
But we'll move it on. Another club in Manchester. They won midweek. They beat Forest 3-0 at home. They went away on the weekend to Crystal Palace, a place that Arsenal have to go to next weekend. And you were telling me, City are going to go there and win, and City are through this, and it's Palace, and Palace are terrible. And I told you, Selhurst, it's always tough for Man City. When Man City
you were saying that to me.
It's always tough. Even when they won the treble, I don't know if you remember the game, they had to win from a Haaland penalty. Because somebody gave a stupid penalty away. They fouled Gundogan.
With the 1-0?
Yeah,
I remember that.
It was like in the 80s.
I remember that. Oh, man.
Yeah. City, even with Rodri and their best teams, they struggle at Selhurst.
No, I agree that Crystal Palace is 100% City's bogey team. But kind of like what I was saying all throughout City's down period, bad spell, I was like, it has to stop now. Like, City have to win this game. And when they beat Forest, I thought, okay, maybe it's all over now, and City are going to go on the run. I already put De Bruyne in for my FPL, and I was looking forward to these kind of things. I didn't watch the game at all, but I was shocked when I was checking results to see that it was 2-2.
Yeah,
shocked. And I get it. Palace are a bogey team. Selhurst is difficult to go to, but I'm kind of bewildered how far City have fallen so quickly. And it's not to say that it's over for City in any aspect. Pep's going to go hard in Jan. City will finish in a respectable position by the end of the season. Yeah. But for where they are right now, in terms of City used to put these kind of teams to the sword weekly.
Yeah.
Poor form.
Yeah.
Manager's doesn't really know who his best 11 is, doesn't really know who's starting 11, all this kind of stuff. City used to just turn up and it would be 3 goals by half time.
Yeah, and we keep it moving.
And we wouldn't even be covering this game. Just another routine win for Man City on the weekend. So
that's what we said last year.
Just another.
Man City did what they needed to do.
Exactly. Guardiola got his, Haaland got his.
But I watched the game, and Palace were dominating the midfield, man. There were sequences and patterns of play where City would lose 4 or 5 50-50s in a row.
It's crazy, man.
Bouncing ball, Will Hughes clatters Gundogan. Another bouncing ball, Lerma clatters Bernardo. The Palace were up for it. They did what they needed to do. We've seen the goals, the way Lacroix dunks on Walker.
Yeah,
From the corner, Walker's pathetic. He doesn't even get up for it.
Surprised it's not a Walker statement.
Yeah. And Rico Lewis, he scored.
Good finish.
Great finish.
Good finish. And then the red card.
When he scored that goal, I was seething. I was so angry because he'd been getting munched. Left on that thing you said about Rico Lewis. Every time you see him, he's getting up off the floor.
Yeah,
that was true.
That was the game.
That was true again.
We've been seeing that for the three or 4 weeks now, man.
And then he got sent off.
Yeah,
which was
and
according to Pep, because
it's
Rico.
There's only one reason.
Rico. What does that mean, Pep? Because it's Rico Lewis.
What it does mean is that Rico's guaranteed to start today or tomorrow whenever City play. Guaranteed. He's the first name on the team sheet.
As soon as the suspension's over, Rico's back. I told you, Gavardio played centre back. The first time we've seen Gavardio play centre back.
Yeah.
So that Rico Lewis could play left back.
But that also lets me know that, like, all right, Pep is really like diving into his bag here to try and find some sort of rhythm or some sort of like some Gavardio centre back. I thought Pep would never.
Yeah.
I thought Pep would never like stoop that low in his mind to agree with the rest of society that Guardiola is a centre back.
But all of his other centre backs are out though, so he either plays Simpson pussy, which normally he would do, right? But only if Rodri's there, because we've seen Simpson pussy come in and play, and it's not been great.
And we've seen Pep double down on that.
Yeah, exactly, and it still hasn't been.
Still hasn't been great.
Right? So
I don't know. I think Pep is in this. I said this to you. I think Pep is looking for a signature win, like a statement win. I'm gonna come and it's not going to be Wolves, or it's not going to be. He wants to beat someone 5-0.
But they got Man United though this week.
So I think it's going to be Man United. Yeah. He wants to beat someone 4-5-0, 4-5-1, and have the most smug press conference of all time. He wants to say that, I thought it was over for us. I thought people said that we would never reach these heights again.
Yeah.
Pep wants to come and say all of those things.
But you know what? Pep will wait until he's within 5 points before he does that.
He might not even come and say we're gonna win the title or we're back in the title race, but he's just gonna be there to remind guys.
Yeah.
That, like,
of course, that's Pep. That's what he does.
And that video of Pep cussing out that Liverpool fan on the street, Pep is not sleeping right now, bro. It's X's and O's for Pep. It's squad. 100%. It's fitness updates. He's emailing the fitness staff at 4. So what's the update? Yeah. What's the update on Nathan? What's the update on John?
Nathan's the first one he asks. First one he asked for. But look, it's good that City didn't just beat Forest and came out the slump. They're still in there. They still have to
still behind us. I think that's what matters most.
100%. We'll move it on. MVPs and rookies of the week.
Jared Bowen.
Yes.
I should have bought Jared Bowen in my FPL 3 weeks. When I took out Martinelli, and I said between Jared Bowen and whoever else I was arguing for.
You could have brought Gordon in as well.
I should have brought in Jared Bowen at the time, and I almost don't give Lopetegui any credit.
No credit.
I give it all to Jared Bowen.
Because Bowen's a baller.
I think Jared Bowen is honestly, like, the manager says his stuff, and then Jared goes, all right, guys, huddle up.
I mean, that second goal is top level. We guys rave about Mbeumo, we rave about Mbeumo, but we both said that Bowen's better than him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. He's got the team on his back right now.
Yeah, but, I mean, talking of Mbeumo, I had an MVP, the G-Tech.
Yeah,
we mentioned it about Arsenal going there. Just G-Tech Stadium. That's my MVP. Right? Because what is going on there? I messaged you on Saturday. I was like, boy, it was 3-2 after like 25 minutes.
I've seen tweets were saying that Thomas Frank's not getting enough credit for losing Tony and having the team with the most goals in the Premier League. And I said this to you at the time when they were losing Tony. I respect the hell out of Thomas Frank for not waiting for Tony to go before phasing him out.
Yeah.
He told Tony halfway through this season.
Yeah.
He told Wissa, you're going to play these minutes now. Kevin Sharda, I'm going to
Igor Thiago came back for his first game. They're big summer signing.
I'm going to need you to play here now.
Like a problem. He looked holding up the play.
Don't.
Getting guys on his back. And
don't give Brentford. Don't bring
Brentford
Brentford the hold up, guy. Don't give Brentford the hold up.
And like Wissa off the left and Mbeumo off the right and then the Damsgaard. And
I've got enough respect for Thomas Frank. But the pieces that he puts into place.
The G-Tech, that was one of mine. I had Urian Timber, because obviously we didn't pod midweek. Big goal against Man United. First goal for Arsenal.
Just consistency from Timber.
Exactly. Very similarly, Jakob Kiwior. Welcome Rasmus Højlund to the JK Penitentiary. I think Jakob Kiwior came in, did exactly what he needed to do.
Let me look at some of these.
I've got Ice Trey. Trae Young,
Don't do
the
this.
game winner versus the Lakers. A brilliant, unbelievable 3-point shot.
I've opened my FPL app. 31 goals for 15 games. The breakdown. How Brentford are outscoring almost everyone.
Yeah. I mean, at the G-Tech, they're crazy. But I know you saw the ice tray bucket. Don't try and skip over that.
Trey. That's Trey. Or that's more so the Lakers. The Lakers, I still can't believe the Lakers lost that game. I still can't believe it. There were a couple of points up, less than 30 seconds to go in the game, and I'm seeing loose possessions, not getting the ball over the half-court line. I'm seeing, what's it called when it's like the ball's tied up, they have to do a jump ball, they lose the jump ball, poor defensive switches.
And it was some small guy up against AD, but AD tipped it too far.
I can't stand.
But it was a big time shot, though.
It's a huge shot. Under pressure, shot clock winding down.
I had Shovkat and Ian Gary, both MVPs. Right? Yeah. I know Ian Gary lost. Shovkat's my guy, but I've got them both as MVPs because not even necessarily because they put on a great fight.
Yeah. They're just good.
They are two very serious.
I still need to watch Inside Training. I need to see that.
Very
Kazakhstan first. I told you those guys.
They could both be champs.
I told you those guys who come from Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Pakistan.
Shavkat, but Ian Gary's basically Brazilian.
He is. He's not Irish.
Did you see that clip of him telling Oliveira, "I'm sorry, Professor. I'm sorry, Professor." That's what he said. Well, those are two serious guys. I think they could both be future champs.
Give Volkov an MVP. See how Dana was talking to him. You got fucked. I love Dana. Yo, Dana.
I told you, bro. He got robbed in that fight.
Dana just has this like blasé. Like, I'll just come and say it how it is. Yeah. Don't worry, I'll have a word. I'll make this right. You go.
Cyril Gardner's Volkov 3.
I'll give McLaren, man. I saw that McLaren won the Constructor Championship in Formula One for the first time in a while, if ever. Mm-hmm. So I'll give them a big shout out. I'll give Lewis a shout out just for finishing his career with Mercedes. I'll give, I guess, Verstappen a shout out for winning. I hate Verstappen, but whatever.
For rookies, I've got Ange.
Yeah.
Obvious.
Basuma.
4-3 Basuma, so I can both get it.
Yeah, they need that.
I've got Mario Lamina because
he was beefing the guy at the end.
Beef Bowen, I don't care about that.
Oh, he's beefing Bowen.
You've lost your game. Beef Bowen, I'm cool with that. But then he beefed Sean Derry, who's Gary O'Neill's assistant manager.
Is it?
Right. So this is your coach, bro. Imagine we see Partey or Marino trying to fight Albert Stoidenberg.
No, I agree.
Like Sean Derry's trying to like console him and pushing him off and
I like that from Lamino. Not that he's getting angry.
If that was an Arsenal player.
No, I agree. It'd be a rookie.
Rookie, yeah.
I agree. So I'm not disagreeing with your rookie, but I like that Mario Lamina is not happy just to be down there.
Agreed. So fight Bowen.
Yeah.
Don't fight your own coach.
Yeah. No, I can see that. I'll give West Ham fans a rookie of the week because they're gonna have to suffer with Lopetegui for at least a few.
Their next game? Bournemouth away.
So it's over then. When you had a chance to go for a nice young manager who's sprawling and plays this kind of football. Everything you said that you wanted. Everything you said you wanted.
And now Iriola's going to show you everything you wanted. He's going to show you on a Monday night
with a worse squad.
Yeah.
Give Iriola
Kudus, Bowen, Paqueta.
Give Iriola Paqueta. He's got Max Christie. He's got Max Christie in midfield. I think he's a decent player, but we're talking about Paqueta. He starts for Brazil.
And then my last rookie, and it pains me to do this to this guy, but Tyrese Haliburton. Right? You're meant to be a franchise player, bro.
Been telling you about Tyrese.
It's a bunch of average Joes at the Indiana Pacers, but you're meant to be the franchise player. I tuned in for the fourth quarter. Shout out Michael because he gave me the plug for the NBA League Pass.
Yeah, we live, baby.
And I'm seeing fourth quarter, 3-4 minutes left in the Pacers game.
Nothing better.
We have an affiliation with the Average Joes. So I tune in. And Matherin, who wasn't even, I don't even think he was
there. He was there last year. Yeah, I don't think he was.
Taking every shot in the fourth quarter. Tyrese is on the court.
New go-to guy, huh?
He's trying to pass it up and Matherin makes a 3-pointer and the commentator goes, that's the first 3-pointer Matherin's made all game.
Do you know what? Why
is Matherin the go-to guy taking all these shots?
Do you know what pisses me off about Tyrese is, and LeBron does this, but it's completely different. Yeah. Tyrese does this kind of like, I'm going to be a facilitator. I'm not going to be as aggressive on the goal scoring thing. And he's going to say, just play the game the right way. I'm just here to play the game the right way. If I see an open pass, I'm going to make the pass. If I see a chance to shoot, I'm going to shoot. No, Tyrese, you're the franchise player. We're down by 5. There's minutes to go. Start taking some shots. Start getting some buckets. Start getting some buckets. Start getting some buckets, man. That's hilarious.
But yeah, that's it from me.
Did you see the I don't know if it falls into the MVP or rookie side, but did you see the Draymond walking down Rudy Gobert?
That night
is hilarious. I give Draymond a rookie and an MVP for the consistency of hate that he has towards Rudy Gobert.
I think we can give Draymond an MVP this
I have never seen Draymond say anything positive about Rudy Gobert once. I've also never seen Draymond walk somebody down.
Drive to the basket, dunk. The night was all the way down the court. All the way. There's a possession here. You need to mark your man.
I don't know. I also give Golden State an MVP because they are doing well this season, way better than I expected. But their ability to somehow still put up with Draymond and everything Draymond's done, even beyond the chips, is loyalty. They're loyal to Draymond. Draymond's loyal to them.
Even Jordan Poole could get an MVP.
They
sunk the
who did they beat?
They sunk the Nuggets, and the Wizards are terrible. Jordan Poole put up 30, 35 or something, and they won their game. But yeah, that's it from me. Any more from you? You good?
I think I'm good.
Okay. Thank you guys for listening. We are back now. Obviously, apologies for last week. We will have a double upload at some point. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know if you think Arsenal are out of the title race, if you think Chelsea are in it, who's most likely to win it. It seems like it's going to be pretty open this year. But thank you guys for listening. Please subscribe and leave a comment below, and we'll see you next week. Peace.